Hey guys, welcome to another episode of Toby Investigates. In this episode, I'm going to be looking at electric mountain bikes and hopefully answering some of the questions that you guys may have surrounding them. So first things first, let's talk about types of electric mountain bike. Now, as with regular mountain bikes, there are different types, everything from cross-country bikes, which are light, fast and nimble, all the way through to downhill specific bikes, which have a lot of suspension travel and are engineered for one thing, going down. Well, with electric mountain bikes, these genres and subcategories, the lines have become even more blurred than before. With the added weight of the motor, it means that a lightweight bike isn't as important. With the added power of the motor, it doesn't mean that you have to go for something that's going to be engineered just for going downhill or up, because it can do both. So the only real thing that you have to worry about with an electric mountain bike is the amount of suspension travel. Now, if you're just going to be riding local parks, tow paths, things like that, maybe look for something with less suspension travel. If you are looking to do some proper mountain biking though, you are going to need something with a bit more suspension travel. Other than that though, electric mountain bikes, their capabilities are pretty well versed and far wider than that of just a regular mountain bike. Okay, so let's cover off some of the more technical aspects of an electric mountain bike and some of the questions I get asked on a regular basis. Now, number one of those has to be range. Well, I'm going to be honest with you, it's hard to put a number on range. There are different manufacturers of motor, of battery, and it entirely depends on your style of riding and the terrain you're riding. So for instance, if you're riding demanding terrain and you're pedaling sporadically, often requiring a lot of assistance from the motor, then yes, you are going to use the battery quite quickly. However, if you ride conservatively, smoothly, requiring not that much assistance, the battery's going to last a lot longer. To put a rough number on it though, you could ride full power and still get a good couple of hours of use out of the motor at full charge. Now, that is quite amazing because the motors are powerful, and I've been riding on a mini bike all day before and only used half the battery. So really, battery life, to lay your fears to rest, I wouldn't worry about it. It's absolutely brilliant, and you are more likely to get bored of riding before the battery runs down. Now, let's look at another thing I often get asked, and that is maintenance on an e-bike. Well, apart from the motor and the battery, everything else on the mountain bike is exactly the same as it would be on a regular bike. All the componentry is the same, the gearing, the shifting, the mainstay of the frame and the handlebars and everything. The only things that really differ are maybe slightly larger volume tyres, which can also be found on non-electric bikes. Now with the battery and the motor, they are fully water sealed, meaning that you can clean and maintain your bike in exactly the same way you would with a regular mountain bike. So nothing more to worry about there. Now the third technical sort of question I get most often is to do with legalities of owning an electric bike. Now, an electric bike is classed exactly the same as a bicycle, but the electric motor providing the power has to do it in a pedal assist fashion, which means that you can't get a twist and go electric mountain bike, at least not legally in this country. It has to be a bike where you turn the pedals and the motor adds power to that. The only other thing to know is that the motors are restricted, so they cut out, they stop helping you at 15.5 miles an hour. Apart from that, they're exactly the same as any other bike. So the last thing I want to look at is the why. Why do electric bikes exist? Why the sudden increase in popularity? Well, the stigma is these bikes are for people less able than those who ride regular mountain bikes. That is not true. An electric mountain bike is an entirely different beast to a mountain bike. Now consider this, you've only got 2 hours to go out and ride, and you want to squeeze as much riding into that time as possible. Now also say you prefer going downhill than wasting your time pedaling uphill. All of a sudden, an electric mountain bike will enable you to go downhill more within those 2 hours because the motor will assist you in going uphill. Now that's just one example of where an electric mountain bike could make your life easier, but let's be honest, it's definitely not limited to that. There are so many times I've been out on a mountain bike just wishing I had a motor to get me home. And let's be honest, these bikes can help people who are less able get into mountain biking. If this bike is a gateway mountain bike, getting you out on your bike and getting you into the woods, then I'm all for it. Go and find an electric bike and test ride it. Ultimately, that is the best thing to do so you guys can form your own opinions on them. Anyway, if you guys have any questions on what you've seen in this video, please do let them be heard. Let us know in the comments section below. Until then, and until the next time, enjoy the ride.